How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to a brand new video, guys. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're doing a interesting video, guys. Actually, I mean, interesting. A lot of people might be doing these sort of videos, but I thought I'd do my own version of this. So, ladies and gentlemen, today we're doing a ranking from best to worst, or worst to best, rather, of the Gigantamax forms in Pokemon Sword and Shield. So I thought we'd look through these, ranked them from, which is the, the best one to the worst one, right? So, again, this is my opinion. Please keep that in mind. This is my thoughts. So if you do not agree, that is totally fine. Just let me know in the comment section down below. What is your list? How would you rank these, in your opinion, from from worst to best? So just let me know about that in the comment section down below, guys. So, yeah, I thought we'd get started. I think we'd start from probably, let's start from the worst one, right? From the worst to the best. And I'm gonna be honest, this is kind of hard, man, because a lot of these are really, really cool. Like, I've got to be honest, it's kind of hard to put, like, one in particular to be the worst or the best or whatever way you want to twist it. It's just kind of hard to really, like, discern it. And the reason I say that is because, man, these are some good designs, though. Like, all of these are really, really sick. So, I'm going to be honest, like, I don't think any of these are actually genuinely bad. I'm going to be frank with you guys. I don't think any of these are genuinely, like, bad. I think all of them are good. But some of them are just, like, not as good as some other ones. So, keep that in mind. But let's get started, though. So, hands down, my least favorite, though, out of all these, and the one that I think is the worst one in this list here, as you will see, is probably, in my opinion, going to be Garbodor. Now, I'm sorry, Garbodor, and I apologize to all the Garbodor fans out there. I know you guys exist, who you do like this Pokemon. And honestly, its design isn't even that bad, honestly. Like, that's the thing. It isn't even a bad design. That's what I'm saying. Like, none of these are bad. Like, this one is actually pretty cool in reality because it's got, like, little, airplane there and, like, a toy boat and, like, a giant freaking, like, building that almost looks like I guess the shopping mall or, like, whatever it's called. Kind of like from like Celadon City or whatever. Looks like one of those, and honestly, it's like a really cool design. It's almost like a Magikarp fishbone at the bottom. It's honestly pretty cool. It's just that, personally, I'm not a fan of Garbodor in general, and I feel like some of the other designs are just kind of like generally a little bit cooler. So yeah, that's why this one's probably the worst one in my opinion, but still is an actually good design. That's the crazy part, right? Like, even though it's the worst one, in my opinion, it's still a good design, which I still do think looks cool. So yeah, I don't know, it's strange, man. It's strange to really like all of these, to be honest. Says that's that one. Next up, though, is actually going to be Flapple and Appleton. So it's good that they showed up here because I'm going to be honest, like, it's actually a pretty cool design again, right? But I'm just not that big of a fan of it. Like, I do like the little, like, tongue sticking out that looks all derpy and stuff, and I think that's the point that makes me, like, really just, like this Pokemon, and how you have, like, almost the syrup, like, the sugary parts of the apple kind of, like, flowing out of it, and, like, the worm part still, like, almost like a tail down here, with the eyes kind of looking derpy up here, and I think the derpiness is what keeps me to still like this, like, design in general, and what gives it, like, kind of like that little bit more edge, for me to prefer it over, Garbodor's Gigantamax form. But yeah, definitely like one of the weaker ones, but definitely still a good design in my opinion. So that's that one. Now, next up is actually going to be Alcremie. So Alcremie's, specifically, Alcremie's Gigantamax form. Now, here's the thing. I'm not a fan of Alcremie in general. I'm just not a fan of the Pokemon whatsoever. I do not really like it that much. So that might be a reason as to why I feel like this. Again, I'm very sorry to all the fans of this thing, but I do think this is my one of my least favorite, Gigantamax forms, mainly because of the Pokemon that it's attached to, you know what I mean? But the actual design of the Gigantamax Pokemon is pretty cool, actually. I mean, it's a giant, like, almost, I mean, I'm not sure if it's maybe like a wedding cake or a birthday cake or whatever, but it's like a giant cake with several layers that all have berries and stuff, and, like, the kind of designs from, like, the different versions of Alcremie, right? The different, like, the different forms of Alcremie, which is really cool of a concept, and honestly a pretty cool design. Just that I'm generally not a fan of Alcremie itself, so that's why this one's pretty much lower on the list. Otherwise, the design is actually pretty sick. So honestly, I'm not gonna hammer it too much. But yeah, so now we're getting into the kind of hard part, I'm gonna be honest. So here is where I have, like, a Pokemon design that I think is honestly just not that good. And actually, you know what I will do actually here with Corviknight? I think what I might actually do, guys, is I might put this actually lower than yeah, I think I'm actually put it down here, lower than, like, than Flapple, Appleton, and Alcremie's design. I actually might put it on the second worst one. And the reason why is, I mean, I love Corviknight. It's a cool Pokemon. It still looks cool here. It's just that it's just not enough. I feel like they could have gone more, like done more with it. Like imagine if they gave it an even larger, like, you know, beak, like, you know, almost like a larger helmet design, or just did something extra to it. It just, like, it doesn't feel like they did enough here. It just feels like they kind of gave up halfway through. It does have like the small things that are like floating around it or whatever, which looks like cool, but it's like for the general body design, they didn't do anything. Which, I mean, this kind of similar thing with Garbodor, like the actual general body that looks pretty much the same, which doesn't, you know, just like if there was more there, it could have added to it. But Corviknight though, it's just kind of flat, honestly, kind of flat, but still, like, I mean, it's a cool design no matter what. It's just a cool looking Pokemon, hence why I still do like it. It's just, it's slightly weaker, if I'm going to be honest. It's just slightly more weak. Now, next up is going to be basically, I think, Eevee. Yep, so Eevee, definitely. Reason why Eevee, it's fluffy, and again, it's not even a bad design. It's just the fluffiness makes it look pretty freaking cool, and like pretty adorable. It's just that it's just, you know, it's just a fluffy Eevee, you know, there's really not much else there, and that's why I kind of put it here on the lower end, because, you know, there clearly could have been way more done, but they just didn't, so that's really all. But next one though is going to be Duraludon, and the reason for Duraludon is like, because I mean, honestly, the design is actually pretty cool. The whole concept of it is that it's a skyscraper essentially, with the windows and stuff, and like that's what I think is cool about it. But also at the same time, it's literally a building. But again, we're now kind of in the middle ground now, where the designs aren't even that bad, but like, you know, like at all, and like they're not on the low end, but more like coming to the middle end of designs. And honestly, I like this thing. I think it looks cool. It's a cool concept. It's a strange indeed one as well. Like a really strange concept that can be kind of like sometimes like really, really appealing, but also a little bit off-putting at times. It's like a building when you think about it. It's like, it's a building, but also it's like, but it's a building, though, you know? It's a building, you know what I mean? So that's why it's kind of like, it's a little bit up and down, a little here and there, a little here and there. So yeah. Now, next up is going to be Drednaw. So, Drednaw's Gigantamax form. I actually really like this one. Funny enough, this is one of the few Pokemon where I do like where the, you know, the new form of it actually is bipedal. Like, I don't usually like that, but this one I do like it on, because, like, it just kind of reminds me almost right now, the more I look at it, it kind of reminds me of, like, Baby Yoda almost, with, like, the whole, like, you know, how Baby Yoda has, like, his little, like, you know, whatchamacallit, like, his little robe on him. Kind of gives me that feeling right here in the design, and just beyond that, it just, I don't know, it just looks really freaking cool. Like, it just, the design, bro, it just looks way cooler like this than it does when it's like, you know, when it's just normal Drednaw, like on the ground, like, wow, hello, it's me. You know, it's just kind of like, this just looks, just, you know, a little bit of that extra, if you know what I mean, a little bit of that, you know, a little bit of that spice, if you know what I mean, boy. So yeah, it's just a little bit of extra. I like that. So that's that one. Now, next up, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be Sandaconda. So Sandaconda, a Pokemon that I'm generally not a big fan of, does get actually a pretty cool design here for its Gigantamax form. So the whole design of it's like kind of like, you know, kind of like the choking, twirling design that it has is kind of extended here, but in a better way. It's like, you know, it twirls up, or like, you know, in almost like the design you'd see on like those things that actually like they use like a lot of like within like, you know, the Middle East and stuff, and usually Egypt and whatever, I'm pretty sure. But like those like things they keep the snakes in. Actually, I think they do that in Thailand as well, and like a lot of Asia as well. Like where they keep the, you know, cobras and stuff like that usually. Where like it's like that like kind of box design. That's kind of feeling I get from this. It's really cool actually, like a really decent design, and I don't know, man, I like it. I like it a lot. I like it, ladies and gentlemen. I like it. So yeah, pretty sick design, I'm gonna be honest. So definitely one I do like. Now, okay, we're getting into the part now where we're getting into the designs I do like. I'm gonna be honest, it's gonna get hard now to pick which is worse or better. But I think we're gonna start off with Butterfree. Now, Butterfree didn't really get much of a bump, if I'm gonna be honest. Its design is probably one of the weaker, better designs. What I really like about it mainly is just that the colors match really well. Like the new like wing colors like just look so freaking cool, and that's what makes me keep it a little bit higher up. If anything, I'd probably lower it down because of the lack of actual major changes. But I guess it's just like the coloring just gives it this extra, like, you know, just like, I don't know, it's like really appealing with the colors. But if you kind of just like, you know, like if you think about it, this one could be pretty lower down, like a lot lower down than the other ones. But I don't know, it's just kind of in a weird spot for me. So I might probably move it down here, like, you know, in between Eevee and Duraludon, and actually have it around here, or maybe even lower down, like underneath Alcremie. it's not a bad design. It's just that the colors are the only thing that make it, different. And if there was more to it, it would be probably like, I would put it further up. But it's just like they could do more to it. So I don't know. It's a strange one. But yeah. So next up, it's gonna be so hard to really like choose one. But I think it's definitely gonna be Coalossal. Now, Coalossal, okay, I love this design. I'm gonna be honest, I love this design. It is a giant volcano, straight up giant volcano, just like oozing down this giant rock monster, bro. And it's like got this stomach, which is like a furnace of like magma. It just looks so freaking cool, bro. Like this design is just so sick. Like there is no way to deny just how badass this looks, bro. I just can't, man. It just looks so freaking sick. So definitely a good spot to put it in. Now next up, and I know what I'm gonna put here, guys, and it's time for where are you at? Where are you at? There it is. There it is. So, you guys may have not even seen this one. This is, and I'm actually maybe going to find like a little image here for you guys to see. So, Gigantamax Melmetal. For those who do not know what it looks like, here's a spoiler. Just going to find a real quick image for you guys. But here is Gigantamax Melmetal, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. I mean, this thing looks fresh, though. I mean, I'm going to be honest, bro. This thing looks pretty freaking sick, though, honestly. Like, it's a cool-ass design. Like, it's just like, you know what Melmetal looks like, and you're just like, yeah, this is what it would look like for Gigantamax. Yeah, this is definitely what it would look like. This is where they would go with it. And honestly, I'm fine with this. I like this. I like this a lot. It's a sick design. It really is. It really, really, really is. Hence why I'm a big fan of it. I actually really think it looks cool. So definitely a high spot for me on that one. Now, next up, though, is going to be Longcat Meowth. Longcat Meowth. Yes, I'm putting it here because this thing is just, come on, bro. It is just so freaking sick. I know it's just a long Meowth, yes, but the eye is just glowing, and it's a long cat. Come on, it's just, it's a freaking meme, okay? That's just enough to make it a good freaking design, okay? Just the fact that it's a meme. So that's enough. But there is another meme that takes a pretty high spot, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is Fat Pikachu. Here's the thing, right? Pikachu gets a lot of love because it's a mascot. But I'm gonna be honest, Game Freak, a lot of times you make mistakes. But this is not one of them. This is not one of the mistakes. I thank you so much. Whoever thought of this, whoever thought that having a Fat Pikachu as the Gigantamax design for Gigantamax Pikachu was a genius. I love this thing. It is just the perfect Pikachu. It's just fat, and I love that. It's just, it's got them chungus, and it just looks so freaking adorable. I love it. Genuinely love that thing. So definitely, creme de la creme, if I'm going to be honest. Now, next up is going to be Lapras. I do like this design a lot. The whole like musical notes thing going around it, right? Like the kind of ice musical notes thing. And if you look at like its shell, it's also like, these bars kind of like where I guess like music is meant to like, ooze out of. I don't know, man. It just looks so freaking cool. The only thing that's a little bit unappealing is like its thick neck. Like the neck is just real thick in there. It just looks a little bit weird. It's like, huh? But other than that, bro, this design is just amazing. Just straight up amazing. I love it. So, that's that one. Next up, you have to scroll down a little bit to find it. There it is. Hatterene. Ladies and gentlemen, I like this thing. Okay, I'm a big fan of Hatterene, and I do like what this one is. This one went, I mean, they could have done a little bit more, but I do like the kind of like, the little like Hatterene creature-looking thing, what I guess Hatterene is, it's like general body, kind of hiding inside of the shell. Like, it looks so freaking weird, but also like really, really cool. And that's what I really like about the design. It's kind of this weird kind of like witch feeling, which I guess is what the point is here of the Pokemon itself, right? But it gives me that kind of feeling. I'm like, it's kind of cool, man. Like Hatterene, I mean, it looks pretty sick as a Gigantamax form. So I do like this one. I do like it. I'm a big fan of it in general. So definitely one that I will say is creme de la creme in terms of quality. Now, next up, I'm going to scroll up a little bit. I'm going to have to find it. Where are you at? Where are you at? Where are you at? There you go. There you are. There you are, mate. There you are. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I love this thing. Guys, honestly, I mean, I expected this to happen. I thought it was going to be a Galarian form, though. I thought it was going to get Galarian form. But no, it got a Gigantamax form. And honestly, This thing is sick, dude. It's literally got a Santa bean. Like, it's literally got a Santa bean based off of the foam that comes out of, like, its mouth. You know, and, like, as it's just kind of, like, you know, whenever, like, it's in its natural habitat, right? And it looks so freaking sick. Also, the eyes on it, like, are just... Bro, it's so sick. Also, as you may notice, like, the arms as well, like, for the claws, like, the arms that, you know, hold out the claws, are actually a lot more, like, you know, kind of, like, jointed. There's, like, several joints in there. There's, like, you know, 2 joints in between in these areas that can, like, keep them together. And it looks really sick. Like, honestly, this design is just badass, and I love it. I really think it's a great design, and a Gigantamax form that I cannot wait to have in my team. So, top notch on that one. Top notch. So, yeah, big fan. Big fan. All right, next up is honestly going to be a hard one because it's between these 2 lads right here. And I guess, I mean, this is where it gets really difficult, man, because a lot of the remaining designs I love. So we got Copperajah, we got Grimmsnarl, we've got Centiskorch, right? We got Toxtricity. All right, we've got Orbeetle. Oh, so sick. We've got Snorlax. Snorlax. We've got Gengar, we've got Machamp, and we got Charizard. So I'm going to be honest, I think we're going to put Machamp here. I think next up is going to be Machamp, yep. So again, a cool design. I love the kind of orange, kind of like, you know, like almost magma coming out of its fist because it's so freaking strong. The eyes being yellow, like a lot of the other designs, just kind of like giving this, like this kind of like crazy feeling. Also, it's got like leggings, which just is a little bit odd, but... I mean, hey, whatever works, bro. I guess whatever works. Overall, cool design. I love it. I think it looks sick. And I think this is where it gets rough, man. This is where it gets rough. See, it's between basically Gengar and probably Orbeetle. But I think Gengar will take this spot. Because, bro, it's just... I mean, literally, it's like its mouth is like a spiraling... Like, just kind of like this psychic, like, not psychic, I mean, I guess kind of like more like a, like, ghostly spiraling portal into, like, the depths of its mouth. I mean, look, it's just, like, pure, like, emptiness down there. And it's just, like, this creepy, weird design. And I just love how, like, just menacing it looks. Like, it's just such a cool, freaking way to, like, you know, make a new form for Gengar. I mean, we already had Mega Gengar in the past, right? Which looked badass, but I prefer this Gigantamax form design actually way more because its arms are kind of like sticking up out of nowhere because it's a straight up ghost, like going like woohoo, you know? I don't know, like I just love this thing. It looks so freaking sick, bro. The design is just top notch. So big fan of that one. Now, next up is going to be Orbeetle. So I love this. It's clearly based on a saucer. It's meant to be a saucer, as you guys can see, like you know, like a UFO floating around, going like, zzz, and that's enough. Like, there's not much else I need to add. I don't even have to talk about how great the colors look on this thing, which I will mention real quick, you know, because the colors look great on it. But bro, just the fact that it's a straight up freaking UFO is just enough to make this look sick. Like, just that is enough to make it look awesome. So, top notch on that one, top notch. But yeah, big fan of that one. Now, next up is probably the hardest ones I'm going to choose between. So it's between Copperajah, Grimmsnarl, Centiskorch, Toxtricity, and I think Snorlax, and yep, Charizard. So, oh man, I think Copperajah will take this spot. So, I love this thing, bro, because Copperajah is a cool Pokemon, and I love that they kind of expanded on its design here by giving it, like, more of these, like, bones kind of down its, like, large, like, you know, trunk, just looking even bigger, and, like, literally made it into, like, almost like a statue, instead of, like, being, like, a elephant, like a normal elephant. It's like this weird-looking, like, tiki statue, almost, and I love that, the concept. Like, it just looks so freaking sick in practice. It just looks awesome. So, big fan of that one. So that's why that one's on that spot. Now remains the hardest ones. So Grimmsnarl, Centiskorch, Toxtricity, Snorlax, and Charizard. And I think, for me personally, it's going to be Grimmsnarl who takes this spot. Grimmsnarl, I mean, bro, just general Grimmsnarl looks sick. And this thing, I mean, who thought of this concept, bro? Because it's so freaking cool, dude. It's almost got this kind of like gothic feeling to it, which I'm usually not like into, like, you know, the gothic design, but bro, this looks so freaking cool. And also like a really sleek design as well. Like, it's just so freaking sick, man. Almost alien-like as well. It's kind of weird. Like, it's kind of this weird creaturey feeling to it. I don't know what it is, but it just looks so freaking cool. Hence why being so far up on this list, definitely. Next up, though, is going to be... Yeah, we're going to have to go for Charizard. Yep. So, yeah, it's not going to get the top spot, though it is just... I mean, bro, this Pokemon gets so much love from Game Freak and the Pokemon Company. Like, it's ludicrous how much love it gets. But, bro, it's justified love, though, sometimes. Because, man, this design turned out sick. I mean, bro, it does get annoying when they force feed you this thing. Like, straight up, honestly, it gets really annoying with Charizard sometimes. Like, how much they push it. Like, I feel like if they decide in Generation 9 to push another design, I'm just going to be like, honestly, guys, come on, it's enough. Like, this is enough to justify its coolness. Okay, we get it. It's cool. But at this point, it's enough. Like, we get it. It's a sick Pokemon. But, bro, this design is sick, though. It is really sick. Like, I mean, I already talked about this in the past, but it looks just so freaking cool, man. The flames just look epic. Like, there's not much else you can say. It just looks sick, you know? That's that one. What else remains now? Well, it's between Snorlax, Toxtricity, and Centiskorch. And I'm gonna do with this, you know? I'm gonna put my boy Snorlax on third spot. Yep. Now, if you guys haven't seen the full Snorlax, I'm gonna show it to you guys real right now. Snorlax, Gigantamax form. So if you guys haven't seen it, I would highly recommend checking it out. I actually, covered a video on it, but it's straight up a freaking like. It's a forest. It's a straight up root, essentially, on Snorlax's body. It's literally a root. It's like Torterra or something, you know what I mean? And it just looks insane. I love this. This is like definitely one of my favorite designs from the Gigantamax Pokemon. Definitely looks just epic. Hence why it's here on the third spot, I guess. And then it's between these two lads right here. I think we've gone through everybody else. So yeah, Duraludon, everybody else has been covered. I don't think I've missed anybody. Nope, everybody's been covered. So the only two lads that remain is going to be Toxtricity's Gigantamax form, which if you guys haven't seen it, gonna get that real quick up here to you guys. Let's just get it right here and see if we can just show it to you guys. The problem is, though, it's just Google sometimes doesn't want to get you the thing you're looking for. These are not the droids you're looking for, I guess. But either way, I'm going to be honest, I think Centiskorch takes number 2. Yep, I mean, bro, it's sick. Centiskorch is one of the best Pokemon out of this new generation. This is a larger version of that, longer. Its Gigantamax like special move is amazing because it turns into this like almost like Chinese dragon kind of design, which just is so freaking epic. Honestly, so freaking sick. I love it. I just love it, man. And honestly, it's just amazing. But the number 1 spot for the number 1 Gigantamax Pokemon, in my opinion, design goes to Centiskorch. I mean, sorry, not Centiskorch, Toxtricity. And there's not much arguing here for me. I mean, I just love this. It literally is holding a like electric guitar, almost like design as its weapon here. And on top of that, its tail looks sick, it's like a rod. And also, this is the design that's seemingly seen on the mountainside in the Galarian region. And it just looks amazing, bro. I don't know what to say, man. They made somehow Toxtricity even more cool looking. I don't know how they managed that, but they somehow did it. They somehow made a Pokemon that's already badass, made it even more badass. It's just mwah, perfect. I love it. I've got nothing else to say. It's just perfect. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the video, guys. If you did enjoy it, drop a like down below, guys. If you have any video suggestions that you want to see, let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. If you did enjoy it, as per usual, make sure to drop a like and subscribe and hit that notification bell if you want to see more videos from yours truly. Have a good one, and bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.